This is Pliskin by 51mm. Today I'm going to be talking about how I came into owning my M1A. Last night, a viewer, now a subscriber, I've subscribed him, he subscribed me. He wanted to know how I came into getting my M1A. I basically summarized his message to me into 3 points: is how I found it, choosing it, and looking around for the best price. Well, how I found it, I'm going to just go down how I came to knowing about the M1A. I had known about the M1A for some time. It was originally not going to be my first rifle. I was going to buy an AR-15. Surprise! Imagine that. I was up in the air about what I'd want, and then I started looking into this more, and it just appealed to me. That's how I had always known about the M1A. I had looked them up one day a long time ago. I never really thought I would own one. I just figured it was out of my budget, but I had some, along with doing some side jobs and having some pretty good luck with graduating high school and whatnot, I came into being able to afford this. Then came the question of choosing it, choosing the rifle. Now, as you know, Springfield Armory, it has multiple different versions of the M1A. The M1A Loaded, the Scout, the Standard, the National Match, Super Match. It has all of those. But I'm going to be focusing around on just the Standard and the Loaded for this video. Choosing it. Well, if you're looking at the Standard and the Loaded, and I apologize for this video freezing, like I'm looking like I'm moving in slow motion. I don't know why it's doing that. But if you're looking into the Standard or Loaded, what you want to look for, what really all you need to do is just start reading up on the two, like I did. Go on to the m14forums.com. They have some good information on both models there. But what I did is I just started reading up on the differences between the two, what the Loaded has to offer over the Standard, and what the Standard has to offer over the Loaded. But I'm going to do something better. I wrote down the differences of both models right here, and I'll read them off to you. The M1A Loaded model, it has a National Match front sight and non-hooded rear sight with 1.5 MOA windage adjustment, a National Match 4.5 pound trigger, a reamed National Match flash suppressor, a 22-inch barrel with a 1 in 11 twist right hand groove, National Match medium weight premium air gauged carbon steel, and it weighs 9.3 pounds. And Standard has a National Match front sight. I didn't know that. I figured that only the higher models had the National Match front sight. Has a military aperture 0.069 with MOA adjustment for both windage and elevation. A 5 to 6 pound trigger pull, 22-inch barrel with a 1 in 11 twist, right hand groove, carbon steel, and weighs 8.8 pounds. So with the Loaded, you get a National Match barrel, a peep sight basically. It's not the Standard sight by any means. What is it called? A 1/2 MOA windage adjustment rear sight, lighter trigger pull, and a reamed flash suppressor. Basically, you get a much better barrel and sight system with the loaded, and a better trigger. You get the National Match trigger too. It does weigh a little bit more than the standard. The price points, that was the next thing he asked. Looking around for the best price. Well, I bought mine from Springfield Armory. I didn't have it come in from another like Kentucky Gun Company or nothing like that. I bought it directly from Springfield. The price difference between the standard and loaded is about $200. But for me, I did get a quote for the standard a while back, and the MSRP came out as $16.21, but the gun store, the quote I got, lowered it down to $13.30. So it was a lower price from the store. The store price was lower than the price from the factory. And I could not find my paper I got the quote on for my M1A loaded, because it was, I don't know what happened to it, but it was the price from the store, the MSRP on the loaded was $17.50, but the quote I got on it was $14.50, so it brought it down about $300. But I ended up having to pay $1,600 because of the tax stamp on it. So really, both are pretty expensive, but for the price of the loaded, even though it does cost a little bit more, it is not a bad deal to go with. Very, you get a lot of features with this. Yeah, you get a better trigger, a lighter trigger. You get a National Match medium weight barrel. You get the National Match front sight, but you get that with the standard. And you get the rear sight, the peep sight. It's basically a peep sight. It's basically what it is. And that's about as much as the features go on it. But it's got some, if you're looking between the two, I would go with whatever's in your price point for one. But if you have the chance to get the loaded, I'd go with the loaded. It's not failed me yet. It's a very, very good gun. I'm very happy with it. Well, I hope this helps some people out. I'm sorry for my rather glitchy video and my tongue twistedness on the paper. Trying to read off what I'm saying and stuff. It get tongue twisted. It's an easy thing to do, but hey, it's just a common mistake. Other than magazine, it both come with a 10-round magazine, by the way. But other than the magazine and ammo, the gun by themselves, it's a good deal. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be much like getting the standard would be all right too. I'm sure it functions and operates about the same. Well, anyway, this has been Pliskin by 51mm. I'll see you all in the next video.